Alright, hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another installment of our Get to Know series. Today I'm joined by Chris, or as you guys would probably know him better, ModdedTalent. So, hey, what's up? Thanks for joining me.
Hey, how you doing? Face reveal here for everybody. You get to see the face for the first time. Thanks for having me, chaps.
Yep. Yep, so for those who don't know, I'm essentially just getting to know various people in the community. Recently it's been a lot of content creators like yourself, but I'm just going around, I'm going to try and get some people from the forums and from esports and just get to know people in the community, spotlight them, sort of. Just it makes for a tighter community. So,
Agreed.
So I understand you're in school right now.
Yes, so I just started my first year of law school, long time goal. It's pretty damn difficult, so playing Gears is a nice break from it. But yeah, full-time student, grinding on the readings all the time when I'm not gaming. So, yeah.
So where are you right now? You're in Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm in Canada, more specifically Ontario. I don't know if people are familiar with the provinces. I'm in Kingston, which is even more specific if anybody wants to try to come track me down. So yeah, that's where I'm doing school right now. Beautiful place, love it here. Very, very happy place.
Very nice. So school is obviously really important. I love school. I still go back to my school to do some recruiting for work and stuff like that. But school being important, it's taking up a lot of your time, especially with law school. Mm-hmm. But outside of school and Gears, what are some of the things that you like to do? What hobbies do you have, I guess?
Yeah, so I'm huge into sports. I wouldn't say that I'm particularly excellent at any or all of them. Soccer I'm pretty good at. But I'd like to play squash, volleyball, soccer, just go out with my friends and whatnot. And I make some videos on the side for my school for fun. So I've always been into video editing, huge into chocolate, big Simpsons fan. I have posters here. That's literally a Simpsons poster and that's a candy poster. So, there's the proof there. So,
Wow.
Mixed bag.
A candy poster. You really do like chocolate.
Oh, I do. It, just like looking at it makes me hungry sometimes. I should really take it down, but who's got time for that?
Well, so being that we're both Gears players, you obviously love video gaming. So when did you first get into, not necessarily Gears, but when did you get into gaming in general?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I feel like there was the Nintendo 64 era, and I played a little bit here and there for everything. I'd say the point where I really got hooked was when Halo came out. I went to my neighbor's house and he let me play it once, and I was like, holy crap, this is like the best thing that I've ever played, and I really loved it. Got an Xbox, played Halo, and then Gears is probably the first game that I had an unhealthy addiction to. So I used to play co-op with my brother way back in 2006, I guess it would have been. So okay. I guess I've been a casual gamer 15 years back and then started getting a little bit more hardcore about it in 2006, and now I'm slowly easing off of it, but not quite.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, I'm also easing off a little bit, but Gears is still my favorite. I love Gears. But so I guess you've been playing Gears since the beginning. What made that stick with you?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it was, but I felt like it was such an immersive game, and it took a lot of skill and a lot of outthinking to win matches. And obviously there's the Nasher, which everyone's crazy about, the shotgun battles, and just the cover system and rifle play. There was something about it that was just so addictive, and at the time that it was basically just execution, warzone, assassination that you could play multiplayer. So I used to really hate dying because I would have to wait to play. So it forced me to improve so that I would stay alive and actually get to play, if that makes sense. And I think that kind of really hooked me to the point where I wanted to just sink a lot of time into it, get better, and beat whoever was on the other side of the screen as I was, and just a super fun, immersive game to play with friends.
Yeah, well, all that practice definitely paid off. I mean, a couple weeks ago, we played a bunch of matches together, and you were just top of the scoreboard every time. You were dominating people.
Well, I'm sure if it was Horde, then it would be the other way around, and should you choose to sink in more time in PvP, I would not be surprised if you were having your way with people.
Well, so I guess that's the whole gaming aspect of it, but then you've also created this YouTube channel. I guess it's about, at the time we're recording this, it's about twice the size of my channel. For a video game channel, it's relatively small, but it's it's growing. How did you get started with that channel?
So I used to love watching Arctic's Gears videos. Thought they were really excellent. He was a content creator who helped people with Gears improve at the game. He still makes content for other games as well. But I guess basically I was always kind of frustrated that there was very few people on YouTube that would post content aimed at helping newer players improve at Gears, or even just doing traditional style commentaries. And even gameplay wise, I feel like. Gears is a pretty big game, but the YouTube scene is small, and I always felt like if I decided to make content, I'd be able to kind of combine my knowledge of the game with my ability to speak, or at least the ability that I think I have of speaking, and my gameplay to kind of make entertaining videos. So I guess succinctly put, I kind of saw a hole in the YouTube scene, and it was motivating for me to try to fill it with the type of content that I would have enjoyed watching should I searched for Gears videos on YouTube.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny. Arctic's one of the people that's one of the first Gears YouTuber people that I ever watched stuff on, because like you said, it was very informative, taught people. He was well spoken. He went over really interesting things, and he's watching his active. Well, it wasn't his active reload series, but watching him on the active reload series that they had was one of the things that made me start doing some of the streams I was doing on Tac-Com. So it's kind of interesting that we had that same start there.
I guess so, and yeah, I guess the torch has been passed because I know you actually even had your recent stream of community members talking about issues. So I guess that is very analogous to Tac-Com, which is great. And I guess we are also on the same page when it comes to the content we do, because even your Horde videos are an example of something I feel like I would be looking for if I wanted to improve at the game. And it's so hard to create and so hard to find. So yeah, I think we're in the same lane here, and it's great that we make that type of content.
Yeah, and so another thing, you somewhat brought this up, but one thing that I've really noticed about talking with you and this interview, some of the other things that we've done, is you're opinionated, but at the same time, you're very level-headed about everything, and you look at stuff very objectively. It's well-spoken. So, I mean, so with your views on the game and being fairly level-headed in these arguments and stuff, what would you say is the biggest room for improvement in this game? Where can the coalition focus to make like the biggest improvements?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest area of improvement right now needs to be the matchmaking. Right now, it's sort of non-existent in terms of matching people with similar skill levels, especially if you think about their most competitive game types like escalation that can go on for roughly half an hour. Yeah. You want to make sure that people are getting put into matches where they're going up against people of similar skill level. I think I've said this in videos before, but the most beautiful part of a Gears is how competitive and unique it is. That's what makes this game so fun, and it's wasted if you are not allowing people of the same skill level to go up against each other and play this game. And then you have this issue where the lower tier players are getting frustrated because they're getting pounced on, and the higher tier players are getting bored because it's too easy. So
yeah,
I think with the matchmaking, even with the ranks, I like the introduction of bronze, silver, gold, etc. But they need to really put some teeth on it and make it so that you're going up against people the same skill level.
Yeah, and so did you see the recent announcement that they made? What was it, this week, I think? They are working on that apparently in the next title update. So hopefully things are improved, because I do agree it's really annoying. Like we said before, I'm not that great. I don't play versus that much. I'm mostly high silver or gold in most playlists, but I get faced up against these diamond players, and it's pretty annoying getting stumped on.
Yeah, so there you go, and I'm on the opposite end. Play enough that I'm usually diamond, and then I play against people who, have just purchased the game or something, and it doesn't quite work. I did see that the announcement they made, and I'm pretty hopeful that they will improve it, especially with some of the improvements they've already made. So I think it's very conceivable that we will get that change, but right now, that is what I'm kind of hungry for, to see it actually come to fruition.
All right. So I guess another topic to bring up is, so I guess you saw part of the community stream that we had where Adam was in there, and one of the things that just would not stop coming up in that discussion was core versus competitive weapon tuning. So I was kind of curious if you could share some of your thoughts on those. Which do you prefer, or would you like to see universal tuning, that sort of thing?
Hmm. Yeah, so this is a tough one because I always have to take into account my bias as somebody who enjoys competitive gameplay. So I think it's pretty obvious that I think the competitive tunings are better. It allows for more intimate gunfights. But I also understand that there's a large population that might enjoy core weapon tuning because it's more powerful and more empowering as a result, because it's easier to get kills. So I understand the kind of difference between the two. But at the end of the day, I whether or not it's core competitive or even somewhere in between, which I think would be really great, I think universal weapon tuning is the way to go. I have not seen too many other games that use this type of split weapon tuning. I think it's very divisive. You're kind of slotting the community into two categories, core, competitive, and the playlists are divided as a result as well. I don't find that I play too much King of the Hill, for instance, because of the core weapon tunings. So I think that we really do need a universal weapon tuning. I don't think it's going to happen at this point in the game. But yeah, I was never a fan, and I even posted a video before the beta kind of saying, I think this is going to be an issue, like this is going to be a problem. And I'm not sure if it's a huge enough problem that it's driven people away, but it's definitely something that, I find myself frustrated by and would like a universal weapon tuning regardless of if it's core or competitive.
All right, interesting. Yeah, I even though I'm mostly a core player because I don't play very much, I also prefer the competitive settings because, like you said, it's a more intimate battle. It makes for a more competitive, high skill gap game, which I feel that's what Gears always has been at its core.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Let's see. So I guess just this morning, there was I guess we could call it a leak on the marketplace. We saw that the maps for this next month are supposed to be, what is it, the Slab and Hotel.
Yes, that's
So
correct.
it hasn't been confirmed yet, but if you look at the season pass, it shows those overheads as the maps for possibly this month. So what are your thoughts on those maps?
So yeah, this is another area where I've been vocal and critical. At the time we're recording this, it's April 1st, so we're really praying that this is an April Fool's joke that's just very elaborate, or that this is coming down way later. But I've also made some complaints, for lack of better words, in the past that we're having way too many returning maps right now. The new maps that we're supposed to be getting are really just Gears of War 3 reskins, remakes, and this is old stuff for players who have really stuck with the series for a long time, and I suspect that they have a large fan base that used to play the game. So, and even the maps, Slab and Hotel, there's nothing to me that really is outstanding about either of those maps. Like, they're not bad, but they're not great. And I would just really like to see some new maps like Diner. I thought Diner was a heck of a lot of fun. So I think it's kind of evident that the coalition is understaffed or, feels pressed for time if they need to resort to relying on so many old maps. But I think as a season's pass holder, just a consumer of the game, it is getting frustrating to have just maps coming back that I've played before. I want some new stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. They're not bad maps. I'm not a huge fan of the Slab. Hotel's pretty good, but they're not bad maps, but they don't warrant a remake in my opinion.
Yeah, 100% agree.
So I think that's pretty much going to wrap up our conversation here for today. If you guys want to hear more of our conversations, he actually recently posted a dual-com. Well, by the time this video is posted, he will have posted a dual-com on his channel between us. So I'm going to have that linked below if you guys want to go check it out. We spend, what is it, another 20 minutes talking about stuff.
Talking about Horde, the community, and a whole host of things. Yes.
Yeah, so make sure you guys go check that out. I've also got his Twitter and YouTube, all those links down below, so make sure you go check out his channel, subscribe, check out his content. He's kind of like the Tac-Com channel, where it's not daily content, but he does put out good content on a fairly consistent basis. It's not that daily content, and it's normally pretty good stuff. So,
well, thank you very much, and I just want to say it's a pleasure to get to know people such as yourself in the community, make some content, and spend some time exchanging ideas. And so, thank you very much for having me on your channel and for coming on mine too.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, and thanks for joining me. Like I said at the beginning of this, it's all about getting to know people. We want to grow the community. Doing things like what you and I have done here, talking to each other, making videos on each other's channels, it just helps unite the community, and it's in the end, it's just gonna make yours better.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So thanks again for joining me. To all of you watching out there, I'll catch you guys later. So see ya.
Okay, thank you. Take care, everybody.